When I got into small business, I made the mistake of thinking that I was getting into coffee roasting when in fact I was getting into small business. And I didn't understand what that meant at the time. I wouldn't even have been able to articulate that. Our biggest challenge was that we had no marketing really to speak of and didn't know what it was about and didn't know we needed it. We have been able to create a stellar product and have excellent customer service, but because of the mechanics of business, we're just hitting walls in terms of reaching new customers, in terms of positioning ourselves in our market. Honestly, our biggest challenge was that we just had no knowledge of the world of marketing. We had no clue the role that it plays in developing a business, especially in growing a small business. So met Steve, got to talking about marketing and realized how vast my ignorance was of things that I needed to know. The more we talked, the more I realized I really need to be able to get into this stuff and didn't know how to do that. So I'm not really trying to overstate the case. It's just that I realized there was this massive world that I was just completely blank about. And yet it was critical to our business. The Wayfind process was extremely helpful to us, specifically because it takes an awful lot of knowledge and information and breaks it down into bite-sized chunks for us. We were helped to do it in steps that were manageable for us. Our business is better now that we have gone through the Wayfind process for several reasons. Number one, we learned how to cast our vision, how to tell our story, how to communicate who we are and what we do for the benefit of other people, for the benefit of our customers. So it was helpful for us to take a look in the mirror and really crystallize who we are and what in the world we're doing. That was absolutely essential. Another way that we're way better is we learned how to identify new sales channels, how to identify potential customers in some very practical ways. I was a little uneasy at first because I was thinking I'm going to be tempted to see people as a number, as an account, or a potential sale. But the way Wayfind approached the strategy process was not that at all. We were actually encouraged and directed to build relationship and to help distinguish between the internal and the external. And so it was very helpful for us to learn to distinguish between the role that the facts and the figures and the data all play in potentially a sales call or in developing a customer relationship. You're busy, you're doing so many things trying to run a small business. And so when we would get on the phone, we didn't really waste time in things that didn't matter. We were able to address issues, we were able to talk about strategy and implement some things, but at kind of a baby step pace, which was really helpful for me. Every single time I got off the phone, I felt like, man, we just made a lot of progress. And what I have found going along is that a lot of people are in that same boat. A lot of people are like me. They had a skill or a product or an idea to bring to market, but they didn't have any training in business. I feel like absolutely that going through the Wayfind process gave me the education in business, literally, that I never had. I know my trade, I know how to work with people, but I did not know how to grow my business in practical ways. And I felt like I went to school and got an MBA in a relatively short amount of time, not because I'm trying to solve all the world's economic problems, but because I'm finding ways to grow our business. After meeting Steve and talking with him, developing a relationship and learning about the world of marketing, it was not very long at all before we realized we really need to talk some more. And we're not the same company we were today before we started this, and that's a very good thing. I would recommend Wayfind Marketing without hesitation, and I have done so many, many times.